Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Get Real. My name is Jessica White, the owner of Enact Wellness Solutions. Real people, real stories, real lives changed here at Enact. So today we're going to talk about social motivations part 2. Last week we talked about part 1, and that was kind of the positive spin on it, where you're around certain people that influence you and motivate you. But what about the other side of it? What about the influences that aren't so great in this culture that we're submersed in every day, that we have to fight, whether it's at work and everybody brings donuts in, or at the ball game with beer and hot dogs and nachos, right? So again, we're focused on people that are trying to really change their lifestyle. And most people that are really trying to change their lifestyle have food addictions, and they're really addictions. And we can't just have some of this food every now and then, and we can't have just 3 donuts a week. You know, some people limit themselves that way. We aren't a part of that. So we have to constantly fight culture every day and make these choices that make us stand out and look different. So first, you need to surround yourselves with positive people. Have positive influences and get away from the anchors in your life. We all have them, but we try to just drag them along and it wears us out, but they're dragging at the bottom of the ocean and they're getting caught on everything, and it just gets heavier and harder to drag and to pull. So figure out who is anchoring you down, and again, focusing on your health and wellness journey, not just life in general, but who is tying you down and keeping you in this place that you don't want to be in, because you aren't strong enough to carry them along and you and everything that you're catching along the way. So figure that out, have a conversation with them, and if they're not on board with you, then you just need to surround yourself with different kinds of people. And that's just the harsh reality of it, but that's what you need to do to keep living your life and feeling good and being a positive influence for other people around you. Then on top of all that, we want to reward ourselves with food all the time. What do we do when our kid is being potty trained and they pee in the potty for the first time? Yes, gummy bears! Coco, let me get you some hot cocoa. Let's go get some chocolate chip cookies. Oh my goodness, you just used the potty 10 times in a row. We're going to McDonald's. We're going to get a Happy Meal and you get a toy. We do that as adults, right? How many people do that? Oh, I just had the best workout ever. We're definitely going to Dairy Queen and getting a large Blizzard with the Butterfingers in it. We all do that. We reward ourselves with food all the time. Or what about a long day at work, right? You're tired and you're exhausted. So the kids go to bed and you get out your pint of ice cream. We have this mental attachment to food, and it's because of the culture that we're in that has caused us to train our brain in this way. So we have to untrain it. One of the reasons that we are a miserable culture is that we rely on food for our happiness. That's really important. So let me say it again. One of the reasons we are a miserable culture is we rely on food for happiness. I hear it all the time. Oh, I can never eat like that. I can never give that up. What are you really saying? You would rather die than give up a certain type of food? That's a serious issue. That's a serious mental block there. So we have to think about the choices that we make and how we're thinking about food. We don't want to be a miserable culture, so therefore we're going to have to find other ways to be happy other than food, because we reward ourselves with food, but then we feel miserable because of the way the food makes us feel, and it's a constant snowball effect. So we got to find a way to get out of that. So now you're asking yourself, well, how do I fight culture? If this is part of our culture and this is how it is and we have to live with it, how do we fight that? You can't. You just have to learn how to change your surroundings and your choices and your life, maybe even your household. Figure out what kind of foods you want to have in your kitchen, or what kind of dinner parties you want to have, how you want to teach your kids and your friends to reward themselves with food, and how you treat yourself. You can control all of those things, but yet you can't change a culture. So influence others that you're around, and maybe you'll change a person one by one, and we can only hope that it'll change someday, but it probably won't. So when that situation comes, you're going to have to be okay with being different. Being different is okay, and we don't like being different. Being submersed in a culture and being a little different than that culture, especially in this situation, it's such a positive thing. Be okay with that. It's just sometimes it's uncomfortable and you kind of get used to it, but it's really uncomfortable at first when you give it a try. So give it a try. Go, say no, don't accept the culture, don't reward yourself with food, don't eat that donut when they bring it into the office, and just be a part of fighting the culture and surround yourself with positive influences. So that was our super serious talk for the day. So next week, we're going to talk about the fear of getting started. And we all have it, or we've all had it. So in the meantime, find us at enactwellness.com on Facebook, Enact Wellness Solutions, or come visit us here in St. Charles and be a positive culture and environment. Have a good week.